Hello, everyone. This is Michael Stanford. I'm the Executive Director for the ARC of Wilson County. Today's episode of Mondays with Michael is going to be different. It's not going to be the Q&A. I didn't really get many questions. I guess you guys are tired of hearing about me. So what I'm going to do instead is just give a brief presentation on the ARC of Wilson County, the programs we provide, the people we serve, just so that I know a lot of like our camp families, families that have a child who goes to Camp Sunshine. Once their kid kind of ages out of camp, we don't see them a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that this information's out there to let families know that we do have other programs outside of Camp Sunshine, um, and their child can be involved with the ARC for the rest of their life if they want to be. Um, So today I'm going to talk about the ARC. This is our logo, and it actually, this is a newer logo for the ARC. The ARC has chapters all across the country, and in the years 2011, the year I became executive director, was the year that the ARC of the United States wanted to have one cohesive brand for the ARC, because there's so many chapters across the country, and the logos were kind of all over the place. There wasn't really one definitive logo for the ARC. Um, and so they wanted just a way that it could be easily identified in every state or any county where there was an ARC, so that people could, become more familiar with the ARC and its brand and the people that we serve. So this is the logo for the ARC of Wilson, and it's, their colors, it's orange and yellow, and it's called the Catalyst logo. And there's actually the little brush stroke where there's the little extra part up at the end of the A, of the, where it swoops up and it has that little extra piece. That actually represents the independence for people with intellectual developmental disabilities. So the ARC supports people through their lifetime to have their independence and become as independent as possible. And that little extra little piece right there, it kind of shows how the ARC supports that person through their life, and they, support their independence. But the ARC of Wilson County, it actually started in 1971. So it's been around a while, and it became a national chapter of the ARC in that same year. But it was started by a group of parents in Wilson County that wanted to, have services for their children, that had disabilities, and find ways to support them. The ARC of Wilson became a United Way of Wilson County agency in 1976 and has been ever since. And early on in the ARC's tenure in Wilson, they provided residential services from 1981 to 1988, and that's group homes where people with intellectual developmental disabilities can come and live. And then the ARC, and they created Wilson County Residential Services in 1988 to kind of have a separate entity, so that the ARC of Wilson, no longer controlled those group homes. There's 4 group homes, 2 apartments, and a lot of the clients in those group homes from back in the 80s are still involved with the ARC of Wilson County today. They still come to a lot of our Nose Friends programs. They're still very involved with the ARC and the programs that we do have. So I think that's really cool to kind of show just the kind of impact that the ARC has on these people's lives. So what's up with the ARC? Where does the name come from? What does it mean? When the ARC was originally started in 1953, just like in Wilson County, it was started by a group of parents. They wanted their children to, be supported and have the same rights and equality as anybody else. And so they started the organization, and it was called NARC, and that was the National Association for Retarded Children. And then, of course, their children grew up and were no longer children, so they changed the name from children. They changed that children to citizens. So from 73 to 81, it was the National Association for Retarded Citizens. And then in 1981 to 1992, They dropped the national, but it became the Association for Retarded Citizens of the United States, so ARC, ARC of the United States. And of course, using the term retarded outside of medical context or educational settings, it kind of started, it was being used in a derogatory sense in a lot of ways outside of those settings. So the ARC wanted to get rid of the R word. This is how we, what we call it today, is the R word. They say the only R word we should use when referring to people that the ARC serves is respect. And out of respect for these people and their lives, the ARC dropped the acronym from ARC to just the ARC. And since 1992, it's been the ARC of the United States, the ARC of North Carolina, the ARC of Wilson County. So it's not an acronym any longer. A lot of people still, call it the ARC, because they've been involved with the organization for a long time. But it is just the ARC. It's a big A, little r, little c. And that's one thing I try to correct people about a lot, or like I'll get emails from people, or if we're doing an advertisement or something, or if we're being mentioned somewhere in the newspaper, I always just make sure to say, make sure it's a big A, little r, little c, because you don't have to go through the whole explanation of what the ARC stands for, because we don't like to use the word retarded outside of medical or educational context. But if people say, what does the ARC stand for now? We just say, it stands for supporting people with disabilities throughout their lifetime. So the programs under the ARC of Wilson County. This is, of course, one chapter of the ARC is very different from the next. But the ARC of Wilson County, these are, kind of in a nutshell, the programs we provide. We have Noah's Friends. We have the Hope Singers, Camp Sunshine, Easter Egg Hunt. I am a Wilson County school surrogate parent, and we also have a lending library. So Noah's Friends. Noah's Friends, of course, the name Noah's Friends, it comes from the ARC. So Noah's ARC, back when Noah's Friends was created as a group, that's how they picked that name. And you'll see, if you go out to the Gillette playground, the ARC actually raised the money for the All Children's Playground. They started that and raised the money for that to be built, and so that's why that big ARC is out there, kind of, for the ARC. That kind of goes hand in hand with Noah's Friends and the ARC. So Noah's Friends is actually open to all people with IDD, that's intellectual or developmental disabilities, in Wilson County in high school through adulthood. It was until just a couple, 2 years ago, it was 16 and up, but we decided to just open it up to high schoolers, so that we would have a better chance of having people we serve through Camp Sunshine in that transition period between getting too old for camp and becoming an adult. We just kind of opened that window where they could join those friends and come and participate in the other programs we have outside of camp. But Noah's Friends, I send out a bi-monthly activity calendar every other month. We have an actual physical mailing list where I send the calendars out by mail. I also do a digital copy of that. I send it out through email, and I also keep it posted on our website. Of course, I also take in person, I take some calendars to Diversified Opportunities. We have a lot of people that are active in Noah's Friends that work at Diversified, and I take them to Wilson Community College, to their compensatory adult program. We have some Noah's Friends who take classes at Wilson Community College. So if you want to join Noah's Friends, you don't have to pay anything to join. You can just go to our website, send me an email, give me a call, and I'll put you on the mailing list. You can go right to the website to upcoming events. There's a little tab, and sign up to have it sent just straight to your email. And I also have a Google Calendar that you can subscribe to on the website, so you don't even have to worry about it. It'll just pop up on your phone every month or every other month when I update things. Yeah, and you can just join that on our website. We also, under Noah's Friends, we have Noah's Friends Bowling League. We do seasonal dances throughout the year. Right now there's 5, um, where the Ark of Wilson provides snacks and a DJ, and um, they're held at the Moose Lodge. And the women of the Moose are awesome. Those ladies, they go and get the snacks and all that. We just reimburse them, but they get the snacks. They prepare everything. They serve the food and punch and all that. Um, and we couldn't do it without them. But we right now the dances we have a Valentine's dance, a spring dance, a summer dance, which is a ice cream social. We do a Halloween dance, um, which is my favorite one because we have a costume parade. So you dress up in a costume, and we do a little parade and give out prizes to the best dressed of the night. And we also do a Christmas parade, or I'm sorry, a Christmas dance. And Santa Claus usually shows up to hand out goodies to everybody. Um, we also do bingo monthly. Um, that's usually about once a month, just kind of depending on our schedule, but it's about 8 months out of the year we have bingo, and we go to Wilson Tobbs games. Not this summer, of course, with the coronavirus, but typically we go to at least 10 Tobbs games during the summer, and have a good time. We like getting out in the community. We like doing social activities. Um, so here's a few pictures there's a couple from the Halloween dances. You can see the costumes um, there, and it's fun. People get to come out, have just a good time, and not worry about um, anything. They just come and have a good time. The dances are held at the Moose Lodge. They're from 7 to 9, usually on a Tuesday evening, whenever they're scheduled. But it's a good time. Here's a few pictures from going out to the Tobbs games. They're a little older, but we go out to the Tobbs games. We usually go on any night that there's fireworks, or nights that or Thursday nights. They do Thirsty Thursday. We do that because their fountain drinks are half price as well, so that the only thing the Ark or Noah's Friends provides is a ticket for these games. If anybody wants a concession, snack or drink or anything like that, they have to bring their own money for that. But we have a lot of fun at the Tops. We always sit on the opposing team side, and we like to kind of heckle them a little bit and support our Tops. Here's a few pictures from our Noah's Friends Bowling League. This bowling league meets 30 to 32 Sundays during the year. It really depends on our schedule and the bowling alley's schedule. They have a couple tournaments that we have to work around a few times a year, and then we also just take a few breaks here and there as well. But it's open; anybody can join. This is one of the only programs that is not completely free. Bowling, it's $4 a person, but the Ark and Noah's Friends provides $2. So everybody that comes to bowl, they have to pay $2 each week. But that's a very minimal cost for anybody to come and bowl and just have a good time. I always say that the bowling league it's a good end to the week or start to the week, depending on how you look at it. Because it's on Sunday night. It's the end of the weekend. It's the beginning of the work week. It's fun to just go and kind of see your friends, talk. You don't even, you don't have to bowl. Now we have some folks that come and just hang out and talk to their friends for a while, for the hour and a half or however long it takes to bowl. But bowling, usually we start at 7, and you just have to come a few minutes beforehand and pay your $2 and grab a ball. The Hope Singers, they started in 1989, and HOPE actually stands for Helping Outstanding People Excel. But it's a group of adults with disabilities. It can be up to 25, 20, depending on who shows up for practice or rehearsal. But we're open. It's anybody can join. But we usually have rehearsals twice a month from August through May. We have a spring concert that is held every May, and that's kind of a little fundraiser for Noah's Friends. And then 2 or 3 years ago now, I guess, we started a free Christmas concert. We do a lot of traveling, anywhere that will have us. We've been to the state capitol and sang, performed. We've been to BB&T's United Way campaign kickoff, local churches, Veterans Day at the courthouse. We go to assisted living facilities. We've done the national anthem at the Tiles games before. Anywhere that will have the Hope Singers come and perform, we'll go. And we during the Christmas season, or August through December, we practice a lot of Christmas songs just because we tend to be invited to some churches or local events. Um, like we go to the Wilson Winter Lights and carol, there one night each, during their season. But we wanted to do a Christmas concert, and we decided we would do a free one. The Christmas concert is completely free for anybody who wants to come and listen to the Hope Singers. We even do like cookies and punch, and those are also free. It's just a way for the Hope Singers to give back to the community and do something nice for anybody that wants to come and listen. We do the free cookies and punch so that when the concert is over, people can mingle and meet the Hope Singers and chit chat a little bit and enjoy the festive holiday season. The ARC, we have our rehearsals at the Spot. They're another United Way agency in Wilson. They are fantastic. Matt Edwards is a wonderful human being, and the Spot does a lot for our community, and he lets us use the Spot for rehearsal space. So that's an older picture there of us rehearsing. And this is a concert photo. This is after I think our 2019 concert, spring concert. That's our Hope Singers director, Miss Pat Taylor, right there in the middle. She does a wonderful job picking some great songs. And the spring concert's really cool because we don't just do group songs. We do solos as well. Like you'll notice Dennis here in the front has his cowboy hat on. He usually sings like a country song. But the Hope Singers, they get to choose whatever song they want as long as the lyrics aren't vulgar or anything like that. I let them sing any song they want as a solo. And so it kind of lets them shine a little bit brighter singing their solo. Camp Sunshine. The whole reason I started doing this video series this year, it's our 5-week summer camp program. It is open to children starting at age 3 up through 21. I do have some campers who are a little bit older than 21, but they've been coming to camp for years, and I can't kick anybody out of Camp Sunshine for being too old. I don't have it in me. I'm not that cold-hearted. So if we do have a few folks who are a little bit older than 21 that still come to camp, but they love it. And we love having them. But our average attendance is, around 60 to 70 campers on a good week. We have many more campers that sign up, but with doctor's appointments and vacations or, just whatever's going on during the week, our average attendance is usually around 70. We keep camp as affordable as we can. It's only $25 a week if you're not a member of the ARC. Which if you have ever sent a child to a summer camp program, that's a really, really good affordable price. Because everything is included. I mean, lunch is provided as well. We do snack. We do field trips and things like that. And none of that, we don't add on. We don't make parents pay anything extra. And then if you are a member of the ARC of Wilson, it's only $20 a week. But camp is really fun. We go swimming, we go to the park, we do songs and arts and crafts. It's really a way for the people that we serve, children with disabilities. It gives them the opportunity to experience a summer camp. And a lot of places that have summer camps for kids, day camps for kids. There may be a few children with disabilities, but they may not have the resources to provide a lot of, or to have a lot of children with disabilities come to their camp. But the ARC, we have a wonderful camp director, Miss T, and then we hire usually around 10 to 12 other staff to be there for camp, and we have our campers broken up by age group. There's also a lot of volunteers, and then a lot of our campers, especially as they get older, have their own individual service provider. So that person is there with them all day at camp. I'd say a good majority of our campers past the age of 10 have their own cap worker. Um, and so there's a lot of supervision. There's a lot of hands-on activities, and it's a really fun way for people, or kids with disabilities to have summer interaction, so they don't lose any socialization or skills from the school year. These are some old pictures from camp as well. We've got a lot of updated ones on our website. But we have fun. We do, like you see, a little drum circle there. We go to the bowling alley. We go to the movie theater. We've been to Putt Putt before. We had, a few years. I don't even know if they open anymore. But we do the Parks and Rec lets us come and ride the train weekly. So we do a lot of fun stuff at Camp Sunshine, and it's my favorite time of the year, just because we do have a good time, and I get to interact with all my kids. We also do an Easter egg hunt for the exceptional children's classes in Wilson County Schools. It started back in 2010 before I was director, but it's really fun, and it's held the week before spring break, so that we give all of our kids a chance to do something fun before they get out for spring break. It's held now at Gillette Soccer Complex. We usually have it on two separate fields. We have the Easter egg hunt, where the actual egg hunting on one soccer field, and then we have another field where we have games like kickball and egg races, spoon races. We do the big parachute. Just a lot of fun and games that the kids can come and have a fun kind of field day type activity before they get out for spring break. We also provide lunch, and there's a lot of volunteers that come out, usually from the Wilson Police Department. They love coming out and throwing the eggs and playing with the kids like they do. They really love playing the kickball and the parachute with the kids. But that's open for all kids, all classes. They just, the classrooms have to register for it, and so that we can have a good count, so we can get enough eggs and lunch and all that for everybody. So I serve as a surrogate parent for Wilson County Schools. And for those that aren't familiar with, having a child with a disability go through the school system, not all kids with disabilities have, the same goals and educational goals as a child without a disability. So they have an individualized education program, or an IEP. And that just, it sets their goals to something that's obtainable for each child. They don't all have to be educational goals. It could be something just like being able to manipulate a pencil, or writing their name, or tying their shoe, saying please and thank you, learning correct manners for kids that may have some behavioral problems. But these IEPs work as a way to just ensure that their goals are being set and met each year. And it's just a way for, you don't judge a fish on its tree climbing ability. So all kids aren't the same. Even kids that aren't in the EC program, or don't have an IEP, all kids can't be judged equally, or graded equally, or tested equally. So that's what IEPs do. They just kind of make sure that children with intellectual developmental disabilities aren't being left behind, aren't being just kind of shoved to the back of the school, or sent to a different area just to get out of the teacher's hair. It's a way to make sure that each child's goals or needs are being met in the educational setting. But for kids who may be in foster care, or is moving from a different area, to whatever reason, a child may not have a legal parent or guardian at a time, I serve as that child's surrogate parent. So I go to these IEP meetings to legally be that child's parent for the meeting. Most of these children are in living with a family member, or in foster care, and legal guardianship hasn't currently been passed to whoever is the current guardian. So I'm usually there just to kind of make sure that the the guardian or current family members, agrees with what the IEP team decides. And then something else a lot of people don't know about is the ARC has a lending library. It's currently closed with the coronavirus, but it started, the BB&T, now Truist, they do their lighthouse projects. And back in 2013, I submitted this one as a project. I wasn't sure if it would happen or not, but the team that selected us did a fantastic job. They bought a ton of books and bookshelves, and they came and set them up, and we have like a whole library card system, and everything it's very organized. But I wanted it just so that family members or friends or even students at Barton or Wilson Community College, if they wanted information on different disabilities or specific disabilities, we had some resources there for them. Of course, they can go to the library, or there's Barton has a library, but I wanted something that was more for the community, that was specifically tailored to different disabilities, because we have all these different topics: autism, Asperger, Down syndrome, fetal alcohol syndrome, even things like ADD, ADHD. And we even have books on IEPs, legal guidebooks, so that parents can check these books out and learn about an IEP if they discover their child has been diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum, and they're just confused and lost and don't know what an IEP is or what rights they have as a parent. We have a book on that kind of helps guide them through that process of an IEP. And everything is free in the lending library. Then you just come and check out a book. I do suggest calling to set up an appointment just to make sure I'm there, because I'm the only full-time employee for the ARC of Wilson. Our office is in the same building as the United Way, and there's usually always someone at the building, but I don't expect to put the responsibility of our program or our library on the people that work at the United Way. So I do suggest always calling ahead and setting up an appointment. But that's it for this presentation. The ARC of Wilson, we serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. There's a state chapter, the ARC of North Carolina. Their website is arcnc.org, and then the ARC of the United States, they're thearc.org. So if you're ARC from Wilson, or if you're leaving Wilson, if you're moving to a different area, I believe every state now has its own state chapter. And I think there's close to 700 chapters of the ARC across the United States. The ARC of Wilson is just one small chapter. You can go to the ARC of the Triangle and you'll see a completely different organization, and programs and services. But this is just about what the ARC of Wilson County is. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments or send us a message. You can always shoot me an email as well. It's director@arcofwilsonnc.org. And you can always just go to our website. A lot of our information is there. So if you do have questions you think you can probably find it on our website, check it out, arcofwilsonnc.org. But that's going to be it for today. I hope you all have had all your questions answered. If you have any more, again, give them, send them to me. But that's going to do it for episode 4, I guess, of Mondays with Michael for Camp Sunshine. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Please stay safe and stay healthy, and I hope to see you soon.